we have an object called, we have something called schema.getGlobalDescribe. Schema.getGlobalDescribe. Now this will return map of string comma schema.type. Now what it is returning you? It is returning a map of string comma s object type. Schema comma s object type. Now list of objects what we got. List of objects what we got. They are in the string. The list of objects what we got. They are in the string. Schema.s object type is what type of object is that? Is it an account? You will get the description, properties of the object. Object and object properties. When I say object properties, what is the key of the object? What is the label name of the object? What is the plural name of the object? Okay, is it accessible? Is it readable? Is it creatable? Is it deletable? Can I write a query on this? All these are properties. All these are properties. Now what we are trying to do? Whenever we say map of string comma schema is object, the object and properties are written. Map of object and the properties are written. Right? Now in this, what I want to do, once you got the objects, if I use set of string objects equal to object dot key set. Now when I say set of string objects equal to m objects dot key set. Now what is happening here? String is nothing but a object name. Now that means all the objects names are given in the form of a key. All the object names are given in the form of a key. Right? So when I say objects dot key set, I am going to get the list of keys or a set of keys what all there in the Salesforce. I am going to get the set of keys what all there in the Salesforce. Now I want to sort them. We don't have any sort function on the set. Do you have a sort function on the set? We don't have. If you want to sort the elements in the set, we have to write a custom logic. So instead of that, what I am doing is I am creating here string object list equal to new list of string object list dot add all. What is the purpose of add all? When you want to add a list of objects or set of objects, we use add all. Then I can use object list dot sort. Now the elements are sorted. Now what I want to do, I want to create them in a pick list format. When you want to create them in a pick list format, then what I have to do here now? For string is object list. So what do you have in the object list? The list of objects written by the schema. Select option equal to options dot add. So I have created a pick list with the list of objects what we got. So let me do the same thing in the programmable format. Let me implement it. Please mute your mics. Srinivas, can you mute your mic? Is it? It is not. 15 minutes the power will go. Right. Very horrible. Like 8 hours power cut. Now I got select option. I have public list of now I'm taking a constructor here. Public schema objects. In the constructor, what I'm doing here, first I'm creating a map. Public of map string any query till here. I just created a few variables here. Now what I'm doing here is my objects equal to schema dot get global describe. The global describe I'm giving here. Okay. Now this will give a map of string comma is object type. Now what I'm doing here, in this, let me initialize the objects here. Objects equal to new list of then we have object list now. So for this I have object list dot add all my objects dot key set. So list of keys what we got there I have added here. Right, the list of keys what we got that is added to the object list. Now I can sort the object list. So we can get a sorted list here. Now my intention is to create a pick list. So for string yes object list then I have to give objects dot add. Now the option what you have selected in this, the object what you have selected I am putting here public string selected object. The pick list, if you select something I am going to show it in the selected object. Now what I have done here, I have written a map, got the list of key offset keys. With the keys I sorted the values in the keys, then added the pick list. Let me save it and create a Visual Force page now. Schema. And the schema objects controller, what is the name of the controller that we used? Schema objects. No. I'm creating the page block table. Page block I'm creating here. The page block section. Within the page block section I'm creating text output label. So you remember all these things, right? Now I'm creating an apex select list. The select list I'm creating a apex select options value equal to, already I created options there. So options are stored in objects. List of SR, okay, I have created objects there. Now these are going to be given here. Then I can give size equal to 1. Right. Finally this point. So what I have done here, I just created one section here. I created one section with object list, pick list value. Let me run this. What happened here? Object list. We got the list of objects, account feed. We sorted them. That's why we are getting the alphabetical order. Right. Now I want none option at the beginning. I want to add the none option because directly we are getting a list of objects. I don't want a list of objects directly. I want to put it. Any query about this? The code what we have written? Because I am going to extend. This will move up to 150 lines to 200 lines now. Now what I want is, in my program I want to, based on the object that you have selected, I want to get the description about the object. Based on the object that you have selected, I want to get the properties of that object. I want to display the properties of this object. So when you want to display the properties of this object, we had a method called schema describe. We have a method called subject describe result. So when they should be given, whenever somebody selects a option. Whenever somebody selects the option means basically it's a none. When somebody changes the value from none to some other thing, I have to get the values. So I have to make some function here. Public. I'm taking here public void get details. Or let me make it simpler one. Okay. Get description. Details. Now what I'm going to get, you are going to select an object. When you select an object, it's a key. Based on the key from the map, can I get the description values? In the map, if I give a keyword, it's going to give me the value, key value pair. So what I'm doing here, schema dot describe as object result. We have an object called describe as object result. If you are describing any result, that will be stored in describe as object result. Okay, result my object equal to, already we got it. What is the map that we got? M objects. M objects is the map dot get M objects dot get whatever the value that you have selected. Already we have taken it. Selected object, right? Selected object. What is the variable that I have created? Selected object. This is the object what you selected. Selected object dot get describe. There is a method called get describe. So when you say get describe on the S object type, get describe on the S object type, it gives a description about the one. When I say description, it is entire properties. Result equal to, let me put some variable here. Public object description. Object description. I'm giving here public string Now, whenever somebody calls details method, it is going to go to map, get the object or subject type. On the subject type, it is going to fetch the description. First, based on the key, we are going to get the subject type. Okay, on the subject type, we are using get describe to get the properties. Now, once you got the properties, I want to display in the section here. Now, what do you display? I am creating here Apex item. So we are taking another, right? In this section, I am creating Apex value equal to ID equal to. Now, when this will be called, when this should be refreshed, whenever somebody change the value. So, if somebody change the value, what we have? We already learned about action support. Do you remember? We have learned about action support. When the action support is called, whenever an event occurs, event on change. Whenever some event occurs, it is going to call. What I am going to call here? I am calling here details. Now I am saying re-render component called OD. So whenever there is a change in the select list option, automatically go and call the details function. In the detail function, when you perform, refresh the OD. The component whose ID is OD. Now let us see this. Now we got here account dereferencing null value at line number 21. What is 21? Describe my object dot get selected object M objects. Where is that M objects? Schema dot get global describe. Okay. M objects dot get selected object. I give the selected object there, right? Selected list I have not given here. That is either value equal to give set OBC. Right. So look at this one. What you are able to see? Schema, S object describe, key is 001, label is account, plural name is accounts, get name, is it accessible, is it creatable, is it custom, is it custom setting, deletable, deprecated, all the properties were given here. We are getting all the properties, right? We are getting all the properties of the field. Clear up the point here. We are getting the properties. So based on the object what you selected, we are getting the properties. Now what is my intention is, I want to get the fields of the object which you have selected. Now you have selected an object. Based on the object what you selected, the list of fields which are there in that object, I want to get them. Okay. So my intention is to get the list of fields, okay, on the object what you selected. When you want to get the list of fields, we have in the description of the object, we have to use fields.getMap. In the object what you selected, that object dot fields dot getMap. Get the list of fields in the form of map. So let me give you. My intention is to get the list of fields. So let me give you. I am going to extend this one. Basically, I am creating here. Public. First, I am going to get the map. So you are getting a map of string, and it is going to be schema dot S object field. What we are going to get? S object field. You're going to get S object field. Then I'm going to take some list here. Public list of fields. So the list of fields what we got. Then I'm going to take public fields. So out of that, what are the fields that you have selected? Now I'm going to extend the program. Let me give you. So if you remember last time I said add and remove functionality. Remember? Okay. Now when you want to create a field, what I have to create? I have to create an option. Public list of select option Now let me create. I'm just creating the variables you can required. Now what are the fields that I required here? Fields equal to then selected field selected options. Okay. I just created some fields here. Okay. Now what happened here? Now based on the field based on the object what you selected, I want to get the list of fields. Right. What is FS option? FS options. Okay. Now just I created some list of variables. Let me go back to the logic now. What happened here? F selected. Okay. F selected. I have to give it a set. Now let us see. When you call this functionality, how do you get the map here? Map of string comma. Already schema we have done. What is that schema we have done? M fields equal to M objects dot get of selected object dot describe. In the description you want to get the fields dot get map. Till here we have given description. In the description fields dot get map. Fields dot get map. So what are the fields that we got that we are at? Okay, that fields get map. Give it in the form of map. Now what happens here when you want to get the list of fields? When you want to get the list of fields, how can you display the list of fields? Now I told fields dot add all my fields dot get, okay. When you say my fields dot key set, what happens here? The set of keys are nothing but field name, field properties. So what are the fields that are there that are added to the fields? Now I have written some logic here. My logic is I am creating a function. Now can we sort the fields? We can sort the fields. Fields dot okay. Fields dot sort. Now what happens here? What all the fields that are there, those fields are going to be on the selected list, non-selected list. So I said fields not selected dot add all. So what I have done, I created something called fields not selected. I selected something called fields not selected. In the fields not selected, what I added, list of fields what we got, I added to the not selected. Basically, when I was created selected and non-selected. On the initially what happens here, all the fields what we got, they are not selected. All the fields what we got, they are not selected. I want to extend the topic, so I am just making it. Sorry. Okay. Now in the function what I am doing is, I got something called, what is the value that I want to display? I want to display in the form of selected list. So what is the selected list here? Options. What is the option that we got? FS options. FS option is for selected list. FS options dot add, sorry, dot clear. So what are the options that are there in this one? First clear them, because next time when I select another object, those options also will be added. Then I will take for string s. Which one I have to select? The list of things which are there in the not selected. Based on that, I have to create a option. Select option op equal to right. Then this I have to add it to fs options dot add. Now what I have done here? The elements which are there in not selected, based on that I have created options. I am trying to display it. Now I have to call it here. Show. I have to call it here show. Now let me give it. Let me save it. Let me call it. So my logic is only till here. That remaining I have written to benefit my further extension. What you have done? Based on the object fields dot get map. So in the map you are going to get field name and the corresponding field name you are going to get, the corresponding field description you are going to get it. Now in the okay. Now here I am going to create one more page box section item here. I created some panel grid which I am creating apex. Do you remember these things? We have done an example on this. Remember, add and remove functionalities. The panel grid I am creating here, apex select list value equal to selected fields. Now if you say multi-select, then what happens here? It is going to create a multi-select quick list for you, right? Then I am giving here style with 200 pixel, 150 pixel. I hope things are clear. Any query on this? Select list, we are going to give the value what you selected. Multi-select, when you say multi-select, what it is going to be? List of fields, because you can select more than one option. It is a pick list, you are going to select only one option. Now in this I am going to display the fields. Apex select options value equal to fields selected options. So I told this is the one. Okay. Now what happens here? Whenever you change the value here, automatically this group also should be refreshed. Whenever you change the value here, this group also should be refreshed. Am I right? Now, okay. So I am giving here. Okay. Let me give it in this format then. I not created as fields. So let me create as fields. What are going to be there in as fields? So I'll explain once again, don't worry. So basically, I've written all the things, rest of the things for support for that. But basically, what is the name? Based on the object what you got, get describe dot fields dot get map. That's all. That will give the list of fields. Now, let me have a preview of this. I want to render it. It's not rendering, so I have to give. Debug section is not running. So let me take it. My elements are not displaying here. Let us check it out. Logic. No. mfields dot get describe selected object get describe dot fields dot get map. So what are the fields that we got here? Fields dot or my fields dot key. So what is the fields? Fields I have given as string. Okay. Fields dot sort. Fields not selected dot add all. Okay. Fields not selected dot add all. Selected options. So I have given the not selected option actually. This is the reason. So what we got here? List of fields. We got the list of fields here. List of fields in the account object. Okay. Now what happened? I want to create one more quick list field here. Now we have a multi-select. Select the fields. What are the fields that you selected? Those fields I want to add and remove. I want to add and remove the fields. I want to have a multi-select where you want to have functionality of add and remove. Now once you have made add and remove, based on the fields what you selected, I want to send it to Apex program where they want to write a SQL query, return back with the page block table. Generally what we are doing in the page block table, we are specifying display the following fields. But now I don't want to specify. Based on the user flexibility, what are the objects that he is selecting, what are the fields that he is selecting, based on that field, it has to form a SQL query, get the data, and it has to display the same fields. Now we don't want to make a static query, we don't want to make a static page block. We want to make a dynamic query with a dynamic page block. Now what happened? User is going to select some of the fields, and the fields what he has selected, based on that, it has to go to the backend, write a SQL query, get the data, and display the page block table with the same fields what you have selected. Now to add and remove the fields, we need to have some functionality called add and remove. Based on the object we got, the list of fields. Now I need to have the selection of the fields. So when you want to add the fields, at the same time you have to give the option of removing the fields. Okay, adding the fields, at the same time removing the fields. If you remember, we made this example, multi-select. Okay, the same thing I am going to extend here. There is a reason why I made this one. So I have field select options. So the list of elements which are on the left hand side, basically all the elements are in the not selected list. Then you are going to add it to the selected list. When you say add, what happens here? Take the element from the selected list, non-selected list, add it to the selected list. When you say remove the element from the selected list, add it to the non-selected list. Okay, then I am taking up. Now we created. Now what are the functions that we have? We have a function called add and remove. So when you click, somebody clicks on add, what should happen here? Public void add fields. I created two variables. What are the two variables that I created? Selected fields, removed fields. Yes fields, R fields. Now when you say add fields, what happens here? From non-selected list, dot remove all. From non-selected list, remove yes fields. At the same time, we have to add this one to selected dot add all. The fields which you have selected, remove them from non-selected list, add it to the selected list. Then again call show. When you call show again, it is going to create fresh reload. Then similarly, we have something called public void move. When you say remove fields, what happens here? What are the fields that you have selected for removing? Those fields I have to add it to the selected list. Selected dot add all or fields. Then selected dot remove all or fields. Then why did I give F not selected fields as a set? F not field, okay, not selected fields as a set. If you want to go for a list, we have to find out the index of the position. When you want to remove an element, we have to first find out the element's index, then we have to remove. But if it is a set directly, we can pass the element and remove it. So I don't want to make a comparison again to find out the index. Okay, then. Now what I have to do here? I have to create one more. Let me give you here. Now, the panel group, this is the one of the panel group. I am saying columns equal to 3. I am taking 3 columns, not selected, buttons selected. No, it should be our fields. It should be FS options. Right. Then I have to take the next one. One more group should be added at the board. This one. Then I have to take Apex. In panel group, I have to create buttons here. Command button. All equal to add. Then we got action equal to, what is the action? Yes. And style with under I'm just giving it that page. I'm giving for the page that will decide how to check out. Then I'm going for, so I'm not using a div. Actually, we have done the last time, we have done with the div, right? To get it one after the other. I think we have done last time with the table. Is it with the table we have done? I think we have done with the table. Should we do it with the table? No issue. Let's make it. No. Remove fields. We give now let me give it. Now we're giving style with 20%. Height. Okay. The remaining that would be taken care. So what we have here. So we are taking the page block tables, the corresponding panel grid, page block section item, page block. Okay. Let me save it now. Right. So we are going to select the object. Based on the object, you got some fields. It's removed, but it's not adding up. It's not shifting. It's getting removed, but not adding. I think I have not added the functions here. Add fields. Add fields. What happened? If not selected, remove all S fields. If selected, add all S fields. Should add up, no? No, it is not adding up. The fields are getting removed, right? Okay, I have to see what I am displaying in the page. Or fields value equal to S options. Okay, S options. I told show. We have not added the options here. FS options. Because I didn't add this, you're not getting those things here. Okay, let me check it out. You're not refreshing or wasting so much time? I want to remove these things. So we got a functionality to add and remove the fields. You're going to take up. It's not working or it's not refreshing. Okay, fine. Let me check out remove fields. Or fields. Show me that. Yeah. Then we need to extend this one further to write a query to get the fields. Let me remove it. Fine. Add and remove functions are working fine. Now what I need to do now? What is my intention now? The fields which are selected there, based on that I have to make a software query. We already made a dynamic software query. Now based on that we have to make a dynamic software query, get the data whatever that you want. Okay. Now how do you make a dynamic software query now? So already we have some list here. Now list of F selected. In this we have a list of fields which I have selected. Now I want to make a SQL query here. I have written string S or string query equal to select ID comma for string S. The list of strings what we got. Now I'm going to embed here. Now what I have to make it? Query equal to query plus space S sub comma here another comma here. Yes. So this will repeat. So by the time it repeats, all the fields are what are there in S, that is added to the query. Okay, name comma, phone comma, type comma. Okay, type. Then once you come out with this, I'm making for equal to for e plus from. Now what is the object that you selected? Right? Select ID, comma, name, comma, age, comma, so and so and so and so from whatever the object that you selected. Based on that, we are making a query. We are getting the fields. Now, once you get the fields, you can go and display in the page block table. Okay. In the page block table also already selected fields are there. From that, we can make use of. Okay. So let us continue this. So let me make it here. We have function. Then I'm going to use some function here. Public void query my data. Then I have to go for equal to select ID string selected now automate for equal to query plus comma comma I have to add yes field comma yes. Then once you are done with this, then I have to make for equal to query plus from selected OBJ, right? Yeah. From selected OBJ. Now we go to the query. Once you go to the query, first let us print the query and see if it's working out properly. Then we'll check out the data. Now what I want to do is I want to print the data. Query. Before that I have to click on a button, right? Get my data. Is get my data, right? Now there is a mistake here. This what may be the mistake? String I declared as a local variable. Or declared as a global variable. Unknown method get my data. I think this method name query my data. There are some fields which are Bakka, they will be available in the. Okay. So, but in the list I should remove the ID. Otherwise, again it will be a problem, right? You'll be querying that twice. What is the query that is formed here? Select ID, comma, type from, comma, phone, comma, name from account. So you got it in the correct way, right? Now that data I want to capture it and make it. So let me remove this description, because of that we are getting a lot of data. I'll comment out. If you require, you can just use it. Now I want to display page block table. I want to display page block table. So what I want, let me remove this and put it in outside. Fix. Data. Use it. Equal to. Remember how you made last time in the Visual Force when you are doing it. देखूंगा. Yeah. We got B. Now what I want to repeat now. So or else I can take a repeat outside and take a page block inside. Okay. Anything will cook it. So I think we cannot get the repeat. No issue. Now prior to that we have to give my data. I'll write a query and create my data. Then how do you write it? database dot data equal to already we got a query there. We have implemented the query. The data what we got, we are sending it to the page block. There's some bug here. What is the bug? What is this? Inspected parameter type script expected text received set value. Incorrect parameter type for script subscript. If selected is say setter, if selected is a set, if selected, yeah, that's the problem. Because page block table is expecting a list. Not all. So let me make a change in the right. So what are the concepts that we learned almost I use this. Right. Okay, now let us go and see the preview. It is a name field. Fine. What are the fields that you selected? Based on the fields that you selected, you got the data from the database. Okay. Clear about this point? So what we have done, we made a dynamic implementation of based on the object, we selected the corresponding fields. Based on the fields what you selected, we got the query and implemented this. Now basically until I select the object, this field should not be there, page block table should not be there. Don't run it. So what I can do, I can keep a same flag value. I can get some flag value. Say don't display it, don't render if public page block flag. This one is setting flag equal to. Let me go to the view now. So what is this section? I think now go to the page block section. Where is the section? Page block section item. Say rendered. That is going to be rendered when it is a true. So basically, initially there are no records there. As there are no records, it is not going to be rendered. Find the point, put the button. You don't want to display even this. You try out this. Clear about the structure, right? Fine. So what I have done basically, tell me, I have written a schema program to get the list of fields, list of objects. Now based on the object what I have selected, I got the description and I have given the list of fields. I got the list of fields. Out of those fields, whatever that I have selected, I have created a data. I want to generate a data, right? Now there are still properties of each and every field. Now we have seen the property of object, property of field. But now still there are so many properties, data type of the field, all these things. Then we will check it out how to compare the data type. Now I want to compare, let us see. I have created a custom object. I want to take the data from account object to the, I want to take a compare with the account object to the customer object what I created. Now when you want to compare, if the fields are mapping, any one of the fields are mapping, no issue. If the fields are not mapping, keep that. I want to create a comparison page. Customer object is compared with account object. That customer object, okay, let's say account object industry. If there is any other pick list field which is in the customer, then say account. Under customer, select the pick list field from the customer. Now you have got a data type called a number. If there is any field existing with the number in the customer object and with the same data type, yes. If it is not existing, none. That means I am trying to compare. Field name is mapping, yes. Then check the data type. If data type is mapping, okay. Okay. Field name is not mapping, then put that field in different list. So that will create a new field later on. I want to compare two objects. List of fields are existing or not. When the list of fields are existing, what will happen now? Getting my point. Now we are going to enter some object name, boss. I want to check whether this object is existing or not. If object is existing, okay. If it is not existing, I have to create a new object. Right? If object is existing, then I have to check list of fields in the object. Or these fields are mapping with what I am expecting. If they are mapping, show. Otherwise, create them. Okay. So take this one. We'll continue with the next. Take a few minutes break. We'll start up with the next concept.
Satish?
Yes. Yeah.
Satish, I have one question in line in the page, not here.